Abilene, Texas. Authorities say a man drove his pickup truck through the window of Luby's cafeteria and opened fire on people waiting in line for lunch. A porter at the cafeteria quoted the gunman as saying, "This is what Bell County has done to me," before he opened fire. Officers say the man killed himself after the rampage.
In our area early this morning, a tragic hit-and-run accident left an Isla Vista man dead in the street. Pablo Diaz was hit on Hollister Avenue near a church just after midnight. The Highway Patrol found the vehicle believed to be connected with that fatal accident, and moments later, suspect Luis Marquez was arrested on drunk driving and hit-and-run charges. Marquez has reportedly admitted to the accident in a videotape interview with investigators.
The pilot of a plane which crashed off the South Coast is going to jail. 2 people died in the 1987 crash of Malibu. That was off Malibu. Pilot Roger Amirin had been drinking before the accident, although he wasn't legally intoxicated. He's been sentenced to 6 years in jail for involuntary manslaughter.
A Central Coast man has been identified tonight as the victim of a fatal train accident. Authorities say that Jason Southwick died instantly when he was hit by an Amtrak passenger train in Atascadero. The train's engineer says he sounded a warning when he saw the San Luis Obispo man standing near a curve. However, Southwick apparently tried to cross the tracks anyway and was struck and killed.
There's good news tonight for most of us with auto insurance in California. The state is ordering 14 insurers groups to start paying out refunds required by voter-approved Proposition 103. The list of insurers is headed by Allstate, State Farm, and the California Automobile Association. The state insurance commissioner reports the average rebate will be just over 14% of each person's 1989 premiums, if you want to figure that one out.
Well, it is the night after the big vote for Clarence Thomas, and he's calling for the healing to begin. Thomas says this isn't a time for anger or animosity. He's also thanking all the people who stuck with him for the last few weeks through the controversy. Now, the president says he has more to say about the confirmation process for his Supreme Court addition, but he wants to wait until he calms down first.
California Senator John Seymour's vote for Thomas is drawing angry reaction from some women's groups. This was the scene last night outside of Seymour's West Los Angeles office. More than 100 women's rights activists picketed, and 2 were arrested for blocking an intersection. The feminists say they'll hold Seymour's vote against him as he seeks to keep his Senate seat next year. The protesters are upset Thomas was confirmed despite the Anita Hill controversy and because of his refusal to take a public stand on abortion.
Well, a politician from the Tri-Counties is getting a much warmer reception from around the state. Santa Barbara City Councilman Hal Conklin was sworn in today as president of the League of California Cities. Governor Wilson presided over the ceremonies in San Francisco. He told Conklin to be warned that he's a past league president, and look where it led him to the governor's post. Now, the league represents nearly 500 cities in California in dealings with state and federal governments.
Well, one local city and some of its residents are still deadlocked over a controversial new fee.
And our Larry Good reports the dispute is now apparently headed to court.
He has that story live from our Ventura County newsroom. Larry?
Hi, Jane and Lance. Ventura Keys residents have lashed back at the City Council for approving a $1,700 a year maintenance fee. 66 Keys homeowners have filed a lawsuit to overturn the yearly fee, which will be used to dredge the residents' backyard waterways. The lawsuit was expected. During public hearings last month, Keys residents argued that most of the siltation in the waterways comes from various parts of the city and county. Thus, the cost of the dredging should be shared. City officials believe Keys residents get more of the benefits of the dredging, so the homeowners should pay 75% of the dredging costs. Now that the lawsuit has been filed, backroom negotiations should begin to try and settle this out of court. Lance and Jane, back to you.
Okay, Larry, and of course, if they can't do it out of court, you go to court. Well, the way Santa Barbara County dealt with runoff dirt last winter may have saved a lot of homes from possible damage, and experts say they're going to watch one particular area for years. The runoff water and silt from the Painted Cave fire are sent to 40,000 tons of dirt that sent 40,000 tons of dirt, that is, into creek beds. Efforts are currently underway to remove as much of it as possible before this winter's storms. Then officials will keep track of how much dirt is continuing to slide slide off of the burnt hills. Excuse me. They say the information will be useful in many areas following major fires to prevent downstream flooding and possible property losses.
Environmental concerns about a toxic waste dump on the Central Coast are again a hot issue tonight.
And our Kathleen Hernandez picks up the story live. She's in our Santa Maria newsroom. Kathleen?
Hi, Jane and Lance. Any chance of Casmelia toxic waste dump reopening again in the future will be argued tonight at a public hearing in Santa Maria. Dump operators have asked for a permit to improve the dump to reopen sometime later down the road. However, the state intends to deny that request, and tonight the public will have a chance to say what they think. State officials say that dump operator Ken Hunter and other dump owners have ignored state rules and regulations. The state-ordered cleanup of the dump has been moving slowly. The state says only a small amount of hazardous waste has been pumped out of the dump, and court-ordered monitoring of groundwater contamination hasn't been carried out as expected. Hundreds are expected at tonight's hearing. It's set to begin at 7 p.m. at Lakeview Junior High School. That's in Orcutt. Back to you, Jane and Lance.
Okay, Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen. When Key News at 5 continues, we'll have our weather forecast for the rest of the week.
Also, we'll tell you about a Nobel Prize winner.
Prices are low at Subway, but I'd rather focus on sandwiches. People call them hoagies or heroes or submarines because they're shaped like submarines, but we call them Subway sandwiches. Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
For 25 years, Subway has quietly made some of the best sandwiches anywhere, like the 6-inch meatball sub, only $1.69, only at Subway.
Giordano's yearly Festival of Italian Design brings together the best aspects of Italian design, Italian cooking, tastings, demonstrations, and substantial savings on everything Italian in the store, from wine to glassware, pasta cookery to espresso machines to green marble accessories. Visit Giordano's for great tastes and major savings every day between Thursday, October 10th and Sunday, October 20th. A Festival of Italian Design at Giordano's, 614 Chapala.
I'm Jean Baldwin. When I was injured in an accident, the Dunyon Law Firm obtained an award for me of $500,000.
I'm attorney Tom Dunyon. Every year we settle millions of dollars in claims for people just like Jean.
The Dunyon Law Firm was helpful, courteous, and always kept me on top of my case.
We'll help you just as we help Jean. Call us at 1-800-338-LAWS, and we'll put the Dunyon Law Firm on your side.
If you laid all 21,000 babies born at HCA Los Robles Regional Medical Center end-to-end, you'd get a lot of giggles. Of course, many of the babies born at HCA Los Robles are full-grown adults now, but we think you get the idea. 21,001. That's a lot of babies and a lot of very happy moms and dads. Special deliveries at HCA Los Robles in Thousand Oaks. Call us.
Tonight's Key Weather is brought to you by Honda of Oxnard, the #1 volume Honda dealer in the Tri-Counties.
2 researchers are the latest winners of Nobel Prizes. The winners are in the fields of chemistry and physics. Swiss scientist Richard Ernst is the winner of the $1 Million Chemistry Award. He developed a new technique which aids chemical research, and Frenchman Pierre Gilles Danzien has won that Nobel Prize for his work in physics.
And Jane, this story just in. Firefighters gaining the upper hand at this hour on a small brush fire. It broke out a few minutes ago in the Santa Barbara area. That fire is burning in an area near Alston Road and Summit Roads. Homes are in the area. None have been damaged. At this point, no word yet on what started that fire. Of course, we'll keep you updated and have reports for you later on.
We certainly will. But in the meantime, we'll find out what's happening weather-wise with Mary Compton. Nice to see you again, Mary.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'll tell you, that sun just barely eked out today, and it looks like we're going to have more of the same weather over the next few days, but there will be a subtle change as the weekend approaches. I'll talk to you about that in a second, but first take a look at our current temperatures. Right now it's 63 degrees in Santa Maria, Santa Barbara is 66, and Ventura Oxnard is 62. The relative humidity is 77%, the barometric pressure is 29.85 and falling. Winds are on the mild side at 5 knots and visibility is 5 miles. As far as high temperatures, well, Santa Barbara made it to 69, Goleta reached 68 degrees, and Montecito Paseo 70. The regional high temperatures, well, Paso Robles reached 97, while San Luis, Santa Maria, and Lompoc held in the mid-70s, and Ventura reported 64. Okay, you can see that ever-present marine layer all along our coastline. Now, it's deepened too. It's at 1,500 feet, up a couple hundred feet from yesterday. The reason for this is that we are still under that influence of the low-pressure system that's approaching us. That and the fact that we are continuing to blow onshore. This means we will keep this heavy, dense fog, and it will go inland tonight as it did yesterday and will tomorrow. But as the weekend approaches, we are going to have a very subtle change. High pressure will be building, and that will confine the marine layer to mainly the coastal areas, and it will bring some temperatures up. Also on this picture, you can see this very vigorous storm system. Now, it did bring much needed rain to Washington, but it also brought very gusty winds to 62 miles per hour across the nation. This high pressure ridge dominated, you can see it all the way here, keeping temperatures up and things very dry. But in the northeast, they continued having showers and thunderstorms to the mid-Atlantic states. And Tropical Storm Fabian, well, it's downgraded. It's not considered a tropical storm since it's lost its power. For us, our low temperatures tonight are going to be very mild. It looks like from 47 to 57 degrees. Tomorrow's high temperatures will be cooler in the inland regions and much the same along the coast. So tonight, low clouds and fog, and there will be a little bit of light winds. Tomorrow, more of the same, low clouds and fog, burning off to hazy afternoon sunshine. Our extended forecast, it calls for fog and low clouds the next couple of days, but the temperatures will rise as the weekend approaches, and it will be just a real nice, subtle kind of change.
And kind of a nice fall weekend to look forward to.
Yeah, and it will stay a little bit hazy along the coast, but it will be clearing up inland.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mary. Up next on Key News at 5 o'clock, we'll have an update on skyrocketing college tuition costs.
Also in our medical report, we'll look at the pluses and minuses of letting your children watch TV.
Honda of Oxnard has moved to the Oxnard Auto Center, and now we have the largest selection in the Tri-Counties with over 300 cars to choose from. We have the best service department with extras like 24-hour drop-off, and our service department is open on Saturday. We believe in making your purchase as easy as possible, and we'll show you that with pleasant touches everywhere. We promise you don't have to make a long drive to get the deal you want. Honda of Oxnard, the Honda Supermart in the Oxnard Auto Center.
What do you get with the new Get Acquainted program at Jenny Craig? You get a weight loss evaluation and 3 personal counseling sessions. You get 3 lifestyle classes and an exercise program. You get all this for this. And that's that. The new Get Acquainted program at Jenny Craig, just a $29 program fee. Dial direct 1-800-92-JENNY.
Great Mexican food, great seafood, and great times at the beach. Hola Amigos and the Crab Shack on Cabrillo.
There's something new at Barber Ford. New models and closeout prices shaved close. How close? Real close. Discount prices created by volume sales from a giant selection and low overhead savings from the nice folks at Barber Ford, who have been treating people like family for over 31 years. What's not new? Barber's honesty, hospitality, and award-winning service. The prices? Believe me, they can't shave them any closer. Barber Ford and Isuzu, Main Street at Mills Road, Ventura.
There's some bad news about what it costs to go to college these days. Tuition at public colleges climbed 12% during the last year. It's the biggest jump in almost a decade. Now, most states are hiking tuition because of the financial squeezes that they're all facing. The average in-state tuition at public colleges is just over $2,100. Private universities are also hiking tuition by about 7%. Tuition and fees at the private campuses now average over $10,000 a year, the first time the average has crossed the $10,000 mark. Lance.
And while we're talking about education, a new study indicates the top high school students are only hitting the books for about an hour a day. However, despite the shrinking study time, a majority of those polls say they expect to make more money than their parents. Most of those students included in the survey of high school achievers are giving high marks to the high schools that they're presently attending.
Well, many people think television is a bad influence on the educational process for children, but in tonight's Key to Your Health report, Edie Lambert tells us TV in controlled amounts may actually be good for learning.
A recent study indicates TV viewing isn't all bad. The good news is it can be educational. The bad news is kids might be learning things you don't want them to learn.
Really try and select which shows you watch. There are some pretty good shows on the air that can do perhaps no harm and could be even beneficial in many respects.
Dr. Neil Malamuth is one of the leading researchers on the effects of television. He says publications such as TV Guide provide good information for parents about TV programs. He says parents should watch with their children and encourage children to discuss what they've seen.
To try to bring creative abilities that the children undoubtedly have in their imagination to bear upon the experience of watching television.
Educators also advise you limit the amount of time children spend in front of the screen.
Perhaps one of the most negative effects of television is what it takes you away from rather than necessarily just the process of watching.
Based on his research, Dr. Malamuth says television does have power to shape society.
We can't expect to be able to pay money to see people beating up each other and then assume that has nothing to do with violence in the family, violence in the streets, violence in interpersonal relationships.
Here, according to the experts, are some good guidelines for parents. Control your child's viewing. Check the programs out yourself first. Watch TV with your child and discuss it afterward. When the program you've selected is over, shut off the set and limit viewing to no more than 2 hours a day. With the Key to Your Health, I'm Edie Lambert.
Now, experts say there's another important reason you should keep an eye on the amount of TV that your kids watch. Carolyn O'Neill reports some youngsters are substituting TV time for exercise time.
Kids and TV. Lots of laughs, good clean fun. What could be the problem?
Turn off the television set. You don't need to watch every day a few hours of television.
Fitness crusader Arnold Schwarzenegger and new research both point to TV as one significant factor making American children the fattest, least physically fit generation yet.
Okay, we're going to put you under the bubble. Do you remember what this was like?
In Boston at MIT, a high-tech plastic bubble measures how many calories children burn while quietly watching TV.
There is growing evidence that metabolic rate of children who are watching television may be lower than it is under other circumstances, such as reading a book or sitting quietly in a chair. Fidgeting is a major source of energy expenditure. Turning off the television set and pushing the child outside to play may have an enormous impact on the prevention of obesity.
You come in here, come over here.
If anyone can scare kids out of their seats and into action, it just might be actor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bigger movements. Good.
Best known as Terminator, he now plays Motivator as chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports.
50% or more of our children today cannot run a mile in below 10 minutes.
On the Wyoming stop of his 50-state tour, Schwarzenegger excites children about exercise.
Come on. All right, come on, jump.
And sends a few stern words for couch potato parents.
I have heard just about every excuse why people cannot take out the time and exercise with their children. And none of them work for me. Because I'm a parent myself. I know that if I want to make time for my children, I will make time for my children.
You know, and it's much easier to just sit on the couch and watch TV. But you know, the funny thing about exercise is I really do think it gives you just kind of, it reinvigorates you and then gives you a little bit more energy.
That's true. But we want people to watch Key News.
Well, exercise after the newscast.
That's right.
When Key News at 5 continues, we'll tell you how some American movies are faring at overseas box offices.
Also, we're going to give you a look at a new television comedy which stars a Tri-Counties resident.
attention. I got great big news. Find your car keys and head for the door. Taco Bell lowered prices on those premium menus. I know it's hard to fathom, hard to imagine. How can they do it again? Now those 3 big menus with so much that I love are just $59.79 and 99 cents. Like tacos, chilitos, nacho supreme. I said $59.79 and 99 cents. Run for the border. Taco Bell's done it again.
Western Ventura County has a waste disposal crisis. In a year, we'll throw away 1 million tons of trash, enough to fill this fairgrounds parking lot 5 feet deep. Where will it all go? Our Ventura Cycle recycling program will provide part of the solution. For what's left, Ventura County chose a modern landfill site in Weldon Canyon. It's the environmentally sound way to end our waste crisis. Weldon Canyon Landfill, Ventura Cycle, what Ventura County needs now.
Hurry into Village RV, California's largest RV dealer with the best selections and lowest prices in town. Take a look at the Dolphin 260 TC. It's Dolphin's newest model, fully equipped with the new 5.2 generator, roof air, driver's door, microwave, and more. And it's only $450 a month. So for the best deals on Dolphin or any other motorhome, come into Village RV at 311 Daily Drive, right off the 101 at Las Posas and Camarillo.
Come to Village RV, Village RV.
An actor from the Tri-Counties is starring in what's supposed to be one of the new TV season's biggest hits. Sherry Claypool reports that Montecito resident Alex Rocco is part of the cast of the show called Sibs.
Need someone to talk to about pain, you came to the right place. I'm beyond pain.
The Sibs in Sibs are 3 sisters. One rock solid, the other 2 neurotic. Marsha Mason portrays big sister Nora. This is the 4-time Academy Award nominee's first TV series. Mason says friends talked her into it.
Friends of mine who have done television series have told me, even if they went in with a certain level of prejudice about it, they invariably, one friend of mine told me it was one of the best creative experiences she ever had.
Playing Mason's husband is Alex Rocco. The last time Rocco did television, he won an Emmy. Now in Sibs, Rocco plays a devoted husband whose life is overrun by his wife's sisters.
I think the entire country can relate. I know I have 3 sisters who, when I was a kid, I couldn't get into the bathroom. You know, they were combing their hair or whatever. And my wife's 3 sisters, I'll see them pull up in the driveway and I'll go, she didn't call.
Playing the baby Sib is Jamie Gertz. Gertz calls her character a basket case, whose main goal in life is to get her boyfriend back.
I hold you back? How? What, do I dress funny? Do I blow snot all over the floor?
Gertz says she wanted to do Sibs because of the people behind it, who have a track record of being involved in such diverse hits as Mary Tyler Moore and The Simpsons.
It's such intelligent writing. I mean, it really is. Like, half the time, I don't get the jokes. I'm like, could you explain this to me? Because it's just a little over my head.
Rounding out the cast is Homer Simpson. Well, not Homer, but the man who does the voice for Bart's dad plays the show's bully.
Now, Sibs airs Wednesday nights, of course, tonight at 9:30 p.m. on ABC, which of course means you can see the show tonight here on Channel 3.
All these local celebrities. Another well-known actor who lives in the Tri-Counties is not only hot in the U.S., but overseas as well. Dennis Michael has that story and more showbiz news in tonight's Hollywood Minute.
This is Dennis Michael with the Hollywood Minute. Hot international box office, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is the top ticket seller this week in the United Kingdom and in Germany. Backdraft is now #1 in France. Terminator 2 is still packing them in Australia and Tokyo. John Ritter has no plans to continue with the Problem Child film series. Columnists Marilyn Beck and Stacey Janelle Smith report Ritter believes the films have said everything they have to say, and much, much more. Aerosmith fans should start saving up. The band is about to release a box set of 52 tracks, including greatest hits, unreleased live tracks, studio miscellany, and instrumentals. The set, named Pandora's Box, hits the stores next month. This is Dennis Michael with the Hollywood Minute.
And coming up next on Key News at 5 o'clock.
You'll meet some local teenagers who are jazzed about music.
Pizza or cheeseburger?
Domino's, just what you want.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
Domino's Pizza.
week's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza Feast. A medium pizza piled high with ground beef, bacon, and an extra layer of cheese.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
We don't make your pizza till you make your call. So call for a Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza Feast. Now just $8.99, 2 for $12.99.
Nobody knows like Domino's. How you like pizza at home?
Carpeteria's holiday carpet sale is guaranteed to floor you. The padding's free, the installation's free, no payments and no interest till April of 1992, and the carpet is on sale. Because the time to carpet your home for the holidays is now. Only Carpeteria has the carpet selection and the installation experts to make your indoor world really come alive. Nobody knows carpet like we do. The padding's free, the installation's free, the carpet's on sale. Come into Carpeteria today.
Want to see the most wondrous little shop anywhere? The Morro Bay Music Box Company. From fantasy and frivolity to classic art and beautiful limited editions. The shop that dreams are made of. The Morro Bay Music Box Company. 601 Embarcadero in Morro Bay.
Hello, we're Keith and Barbara Hamilton of Hamilton Estate Jewelry. Our assistant Bev Boyer would like to show you some of our latest estate and consignment bargains. We think you'll agree that the older jewelry is some of the most beautiful and finely crafted pieces you could own. Let me also mention that we are in the jewelry appraisal business. You can be assured that all of our pieces are correctly identified and priced to save you money. Hamilton Estate Jewelry is at 1118 Garden Street between Marsh and Higuera in downtown San Luis Obispo.
Coming up tonight on Key News at 6, we'll have a report on findings that conclude some homes in the Tri-Counties contain unsafe amounts of a dangerous gas. We'll tell you about the discovery of a body at a local lake. Also, we'll show you how budget cuts may affect the ability of a state agency to enforce alcohol laws in our area. All those stories, plus, of course, an updated weather report and sports on Key News at 6. But first, Lance.
That's right. Finally, on Key News at 5, while some teenagers in the Tri-County spend their spare time at the movies or just hanging out, there are 3 local teenagers who are hard at work on music careers. Photographer Dave Turner caught up with them at a Monday night jam session at Santa Barbara's Soho Jazz Club.
I love the drumming in jazz. There's more drumming in jazz. The rest of the musicians are really good. It's fun playing with other good musicians.
Well, jazz, you know, you have to think about it and you have to really get into it. And I guess you have to study a lot too. That's why most of the people don't do it.
It totally helps with my musicianship as jamming, you know, just doing whatever comes to mind.
People have told us how we're going to end up being. I mean, it's a great experience.
How are you going to end up being?
I don't know. We probably will end up like them, playing in a bar, not making any money, but we'll have fun.
And they're pretty good, aren't they?
They are. We got to go. See you back here at 6.
Later, it's MASH 90.